Hey guys, welcome to video number 3 in our many part series on how to build your online fitness business. Sorry, I've got a bit of a coming over the end of a bit of a cold. My name is David, if you didn't already know, and I am co-founder of ScaleFit. We've been in business now for about 2 years, just over, and we've scaled over 100 clients, online fitness trainers, to many, many tens of thousands of dollars per month. And that was after I myself had my own online fitness business that I created with my co-founder in 2020. And we scaled that to $2 million a year annual recurring revenue. In this video series, so if that's enough about us and why you might like to listen to us. So in this video, we're going to talk about one of the most commonly asked things, and that is acquisition. How do you go about getting clients? Everyone wants to know. Already covered off in the first 2 videos, the various different business models that I see approach that people take in this industry often, and which model we like to work with and why. And then I've also talked about how you can go about creating your messaging um, after identifying who you're going to try to sell to and what problems you're going to try and solve. You're going to need to have done both of these things before you even think about acquiring clients, obviously. How is your business going to work? What's your business model looking like? And who are you going to try and solve problems for? You probably should know those before you go out there and try and acquire customers. And along with that process comes, what does your offer look like? I covered all that off in the prior videos. So now with those 2 things in hand, we're going to talk about client acquisition and how to do that. It's going to be a pretty decent demonstration today. Feel free to ask any questions and comments in whatever medium you're going to see this in, whether that be YouTube or off our website, anywhere else it might be, Instagram, I don't know. Ask any questions you might have, and I'm happy to answer them, of course. I'm not too sure how long this presentation is going to go for, maybe about an hour, a little bit less. So yeah, in this video, what are you going to receive? We're going to talk about the different channels for customer acquisition and why we like to work with paid ads. We're then going to speak about how you create ads. What's important in ads? What are the key metrics to ads? We're going to go through a very quick demonstration of how you can build an ad. I'm not going to spend too much time there because at the end of the day, there's probably a gazillion different videos on YouTube already where you can just follow through the simple how-to of actually using the ad manager in Meta. We're going to be working with Meta here, which is Facebook and Instagram. There are other advertising platforms that you can use. There are other advertising platforms that we use. A really good one these days where ads are cheap is Spotify ads. Again, there's videos on how you can create the ads there. This presentation is going to try and be a bit more timeless to give you the overall approach to using paid advertising to acquire clients. Then what we're also going to do is we're going to talk about the various different metrics that are important in your ads, what to look for to see if an ad is working or not. And then we're going to talk about sales funnels, because that's where I think I see most wastage occurring. People are spending money on ads and then they don't know how to convert the attention they get from an ad into money. So we're going to start there. And I should just say, I guess this is part 1, because this is going to be a 2-part series. In part 2, we're going to cover sales calls, salesmanship, etc. But this is everything up to the sales call that we're going to be discussing today. Right, let's jump on into it. My phone's a little bit better position for us. And go ahead and minimize myself. Clap. Part 1, let's go. So, acquisition channels. What are ways people like to get custom? What are different channels they use to get custom? So common channels, paid ads, obviously, really, really big one. Cold outreach is the second most common way, and that can be direct messaging, it can be text messaging, it can be phone calls, it can be email, but any of those sorts of approaches would be called a cold outreach, where they're unfamiliar with you and your service, and you're approaching them trying to generate interest. Social media, obviously a really big one for us fitness professionals online. That is posting content, etc. You've got referrals. So we see that a lot. Obviously, friends, family, friends of friends, friends of friends of friends, word of mouth in general. And it's often also you referring your in-person clients to an online service that you also offer. Partnerships can be another one. You could create a partnership with a gym so that you can provide online training to their existing gym members, and maybe they refer you customers through that partnership as part of their service offering. Podcasts, I suppose that's another form of social media almost. And there's many more to go as well, but that's probably the biggest few that we see. Blogs, right? All this sort of stuff. We like to work with ads because at the end of the day, it's something that that's very scalable, and that if you have a good business model behind it, is cost effective. It's just money in and money out when done well. So first of all, what we need to do is understand what is an ad. An ad is simply paid attention. All it is. When you make an organic social media post, people in your feed will see it. Maybe new people that have never seen your content before will see it, and their eyes are attention. In this example, you're going to pay a platform to distribute this message and get those eyeballs for you. So that's it. That's all it is. Attention doesn't equal money. Ads don't equal money. Followers don't equal money. None of these things are money. Money is money. Revenue is revenue. What can we do with attention? And what we have to do with attention is convert that attention from just them spending time looking at your stuff to them giving you money. So I know that sounds super obvious, but with that framework in mind, it hopefully has you understanding that there's a lot of work you're going to have to do one way or the other, whether you build systems to automate it or you do it manually. You're going to have to convert that attention into money, and you need to have a system and a process to do that. If you don't have that process in place, don't run ads. You will waste money. And I will demonstrate for you later on when we start talking about sales funnels, that whole premise. Okay, let's go. What is an ad? What does an ad look like? What sort of ideas do we have to get in our head? So when it comes to creating an ad, here's a really, really basic framework. There is pretty much on all the platforms, except for perhaps Spotify, when it's really about listening to the ad. But even then, this framework sort of applies. There is a headline that you need to use to capture attention. In Meta, Instagram, Facebook, make sure it's less than 50 characters, or else people aren't going to be able to see the full headline. It's going to get truncated. You get those little dots and people probably won't look. People are scrolling. They're going quick. They don't care. You have to hook them with something so that they care. And if your headline is not grabbing and they can't read it all, they're going to keep scrolling. It's that simple. Then you've got the actual creative asset itself, whether that's an image or a video. That there will obviously have much of this same framework that we have here. You're going to look to capture attention. Why would someone stop scrolling? That's the overall premise that we need to work with. Images are good and useful. Videos are good and useful. What's best? Couldn't tell you. The whole process of this, one of the biggest things we're going to have to sort of get across in this presentation today is that discovering what a good ad is an iterative process. And I really do mean that. At the end of the day, we don't know what our potential customers are going to want to see. And as much planning as we would like to do in this world, nothing is true until the marketplace tells you that that was a good ad. So what does that mean? It's better to get an imperfect product out there and test it in the marketplace than to spend hours and hours and hours on editing, copywriting, fretting over the positioning of every single letter and word. Get more content out there, test more ads. Your success in advertising is going to be met with how many different variations of ad creators can you put out there in the marketplace so that you can identify the winners of all of those variants and then spend all your money on those. That's it. That's the whole thing. Sorry. We're going to generate attention with a headline. And then whether this is in the body of text underneath the ad or even something that you do in the video, then simple. Give them a problem. Hey, did you have 50 pounds you haven't been able to lose since you quit playing high school football? Do you wish you were in the same condition you were in college? Whatever it is. Do you have a sore back? Are you tired of being weak? Do you want to get, problem state, solution state? We have a system to help you lose 50 pounds in 3 months utilizing an eat whatever the hell you want diet. Provide them with social proof, just like Bob, Jenny, Jill, and Jane, and these people used our service and got the results they were after. They fixed their problem. Often, as well, if you would like to do this, here is a lead magnet. Here is a guide. Here is the link to a video, whatever it might be. And that lead magnet is something to help them solve their problem. A lead magnet could also be a free 7-day trial of your service. That's a lead magnet. It's trying to bribe your prospect to speak with you. Why should they do something? And then the call to action. Call to action is click below to get your lead magnet and book a call with us today. Click below to get a lead magnet so that you can do this yourself, whatever it might be, but tell them that you want them to do something and create some urgency. So it could be, if you want to lose 50 pounds in the next 3 months, I am trying to help 5 people. I've got 5 slots. Go ahead and book this now. And by the way, there's a sale on because it's Christmas, right? There we've used scarcity. There's only 5 slots available, and urgency. Do it now because there's a sale. Do it now because you don't want to gain another 50 pounds in the next 3 years, like whatever it is, but create some urgency. Because again, people are busy scrolling. Why should they care? Why are they going to give you the attention? You have to get people to do something for you. So that's the language. That's it. That's all an ad is. You're paying for the platform to put out your attention-grabbing headline where you're going to suggest a problem, suggest a solution, show social proof, bribe them with a lead magnet, and then tell them to do something now. That's it. That's all it is. That's it. That's it. Nothing about that says you have money yet. That's all it is, though. You paid someone to do that. The moment they do, like, click on the ad, as far as Facebook, Meta, Spotify, Twitter, like all of them, they've done their job. Pretty much. That's it. Now it's up to you. One extra way you can come up with ideas on how you can create your ads and what to put in them is by using the Facebook ad library. When I'm scrolling on Instagram, because I'm always being suggested lots of ads in the fitness industry, one thing I'll do is I'll save good-looking ads that I like the look of. Just in Instagram is the easiest way to save those. And then also you can come to this Meta ad library. Just go to Google, type in Meta ad library, and you'll come up with something that looks like this. You can just select what region you're going to search the ads from. Very, very simple here. Just select what country, or you can select all countries. what ad type you want, or ads, and then we can just type up vShred, right? Or whoever. And then here we can actually search up to see all the ads vShred has ever had running and currently has running. So then here we are. Here's the man himself, the great man. And so now we can actually go ahead and see everything about these ads, which is really, really great. We can click on here. We can see where he's running them. We can click on an ad and it would take us to it, right? So this is a great, great tool to be able to use to search up ads. But here's a trick I like to use. We can see all of his active ads, and we can see all of his inactive ads as well. What I like to find is what is the oldest active. Why do I want to have a look for the oldest actives? It's unlikely he is spending money on ads that aren't performing. So it looks like he recently just created a whole bunch of new ads. So his oldest ad at the moment is from May 27th, which is a half month ago. And here's the ad here. So you click to play it, click on summary details. You can get more information about it here. See all the variations he's running, see ad details. Really, really easy. 1 minute quiz to tell your body type and best dye. Right. Great. Classic vShred, right? So using the Meta ad library can be a great way to search up what competitors and other people are using in their ads, how they're running them, and what's successful by choosing one of the oldest active ads. Old ads that are still active means they've stood the test of time. But in all likelihood, you can see why this is eye-catching. Ridiculously hot shit. Great way to begin. Sure, it's a great video. You can go ahead and you can even listen to the video here. That's a really, really great way of being able to come up with ideas about what is working in the ad environment right now. Righto. Well, then, with that in place, we're going to speak about going through and creating an ad today. So I'll take you through how you can actually do that process. We're going to go through it really quick, like I mentioned, because it is A, very simple, nothing to be scared of, and B, there's lots of videos out there already on YouTube to show you how to create an ad in Meta. And there you go. We're going to go through two examples, and that is having it so that when someone clicks on your ad, they go to a website, and having it so when someone clicks on your ad, they're directed to a conversation with you, to an instant messenger chat, a DM chat. One thing I want to talk about here, which we'll probably go into a little bit more detail, but we're going to speak about audience targeting. Because we've already gone through, we've used the Dream 100 methodology to identify who your target audience is, your niche. We want to know how to target that niche. There are a couple of different ways we can do that. So I'm going to talk about audience targeting when we're creating the ad. But roughly speaking, there's two types of targeting. Broad targeting. Broad targeting is where let me describe first. There's broad targeting and detailed targeting. Detailed targeting is when you tell Facebook or Meta that the people you are looking for are between, it could be all kinds of demographic and interest data. So it's like they're people that are 30 plus, they're men, they're women, whatever that might be. That's demographic data. Location data, people in USA, people in the UK. And then we've got interests. They're people that have an interest in losing weight. There are people that have an interest in vegan diets. There are people that have this job title. They have these sorts of interests. All kinds of information like that can be used. One really interesting one there as well is that as part of the audience targeting, when you're using detailed targeting, this is how you're telling Facebook who you want to go out and select. If you're after selling to a high ticket service like we work with, couple of really basic ones. Don't spend money on ads for 18-year-olds when your service is going to cost thousands of dollars. Why? 18-year-olds don't have money. They're broke. More importantly, 18-year-olds probably don't need your help to lose weight. They probably either don't care or they've got unicorn blood and they're kind of in shape by default anyways. So age is an important targeting option, one way or another. And then an interesting one as well is that if you're selling a high ticket service, a really, really good tool to use, targeting metric to use, is targeting people with the latest generation or maybe the second latest generation above iPhone and Samsung or Android. Why? Because an iPhone, like an iPhone 15 or whatever the hell number we're up to these days, that's a couple of grand. This person at least has more than enough money to buy phones. So at least they have money, right? They're not using some iPhone 6, you know? Mhm. And then that's detailed targeting when you're telling Facebook specifically who you're looking for. But then there's also something called broad targeting. And broad targeting is when you tell Facebook nothing about your audience. Maybe you give them your location. So I want to look for leads. I want to look for prospects in the United States and the age of the prospect. Maybe not even the age, just the location. And then what Facebook has algorithms, right? The same way like Instagram learns what you like to look on Instagram Reels. It will display your ad out there into the world. And based off what your headline says and who it's speaking to, what your copywriting says and who it's speaking to, and what your video or image says and who it's speaking to. So if I watch an ad that says, hey, 35-year-old to 45-year-old real estate agents, do you want to lose weight? The chances are it's going to be 35 to 45-year-old real estate agents that interact with that. And so Facebook displays that message out there. People that are receptive to that message will interact with it. And then Facebook learns to send that message and that ad to more people that look like that. So we went over detailed targeting and then broad targeting. Detailed targeting when you're telling Facebook specifically who to send the message to, the ad to. And then broad targeting is when you let Facebook's algorithms figure it out for itself. One of the things when I talked about earlier when it comes to advertising, it's about testing. At any given month and every given week and any given year, because Facebook's system is always changing, computers are always changing, iPhone and Android software updates are always changing. Because of these things, which is the best method to use is always changing. So when it comes to running ads, one of the things I want to say is we like to spend 20% of our advertising dollars constantly testing and testing and testing. We're testing what the creative we use is. We're testing what our copywriting is. We test campaign structures. We test broad targeting and detailed targeting. We test everything to see what's working best. And we're spending 20% of our dollars always testing. And so should you. That is effectively 20% of our ad spend we expect is wasted, but we're wasting it to find out what's working so we can put 80% of our dollars into that. Great. Okay. Well, before I go into this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through the simple process of, ask me next time, go away, Canva. We're going to go through the simple process of creating an ad in Meta. Here is the ads manager. You can find out how to get there. It's just basically adsmanagers.facebook.com/ads manager. That's it. Have a look up details about how you can create a business manager account and all these different sorts of things. Right now, what I'm going to do is just take you through the process of creating a campaign to show you how easy it is. The first type of campaign I'm going to create is a campaign that is based around sending the prospects to a website. That's what we're going to do now. So we're going to click create campaign. But I don't really have any information in this ad account because it's my personal ad account and I don't run ads for my personal ad account, but this should still work. So let's go with it. Okay. So we're looking to get leads. So we're going to tell Facebook that the objective of this campaign is to get leads. We're going to go do manual leads campaign. We're not going to let it do it itself. We're going to do it ourselves. Very, very simple. My first fitness campaign. Great. That's it. We don't need to do anything here. We're going to make sure that the bidding type is auction and campaign objective is getting leads. Okay. They're the two options we're going to work with. There's other options you can use. Don't worry about them. Use auction type, use lead type. That's what we're after. We're going to select this, and I'll tell you a little bit why, but probably doesn't matter so much for the purposes of this conversation. We're going to select what budget we want to spend. So it's $20 a day. You want to set up a lifetime budget for the whole campaign. Like, what's the most amount of money this whole campaign can ever spend? I wouldn't necessarily do that. I always just work with daily targets, daily budgets, and you can always just turn off and turn on our campaigns whenever you want. You'll be able to just turn them off by a toggle. Highest volume is fine. We're going to try and get as many leads as we can. We're going to spend $20 a day. Now then, this is what's called the ad set. So we've got the campaign level, and that campaign can be something like David's online fitness one-on-one coaching acquisition campaign, like whatever. What is the ad set? This is a group of ads in this campaign that are using a specific type. This is how I like to create it, but they're using a specific type of hook or messaging. So I might create an ad set where all the messaging is around, do you want to lose 50 pounds? Another ad set, and then underneath that group will be a whole bunch of different types of ads with different headlines and different bodies of texts, different images that are all around lose 50 pounds now. Then I might have another ad set, which is another group of ads where it's all messaging around get ripped for summer. Could be another ad set, which is a whole bunch of group of ads that are all around New Year's resolutions, whatever, but just different messaging groups. Yes. Conversion location. So then we're going to just say lose 50 pound offer, right? So that's the name of this ad set, this group of ads. We're going to choose website. And there we go. Maximize number of conversions. Okay. You might need to create a pixel. Just go through this process. We won't bother doing this now. What is a pixel? It is a piece of code and this campaign's specific data around who's looking at your ads, who's interacting with your ads, who's becoming a lead, who's becoming a sale, so that Facebook can continue to learn how to distribute your ads most effectively. So it's a very important thing to do. You have to do it. Don't run an ad without doing it, but it's quite a technical process. And there's probably a video on YouTube that's better for teaching you that. I personally really like using dynamic creative. What does dynamic creative mean? It essentially means that when we create an ad, we're going to give Facebook 3 images or 3 videos to use, 2 different headlines and 2 different primary bodies of text. And then Facebook will use those in different combinations and then see which combination of those three images or videos, 2 headlines and 2 bodies of text. Facebook's going to test all of those different combinations and then see what's working best and spend more money on the variations that are working best. Whenever I can, I try to let Facebook use its algorithms to do testing for me. I don't assume that I'm smarter than Facebook. Okay. One handy little tip, I always recommend that you schedule your campaigns to start in the beginning of the new day. So don't launch this campaign at 11 p.m. in the day, because it's going to have an ad that's going to have 1 hour where it's going to try and spend all of your daily budget when you try and launch this thing. So just set it up so it starts working at, 1 minute past midnight, right? Okay. Audience controls. This is where we can start talking about doing things that we talked about before with audience targeting. If we were doing broad targeting, I would just leave the location. I may select an age range, and you can do that. Just click here. And we could just set minimum age, right? Or we could also click down here, go to where it says Advantage Plus Audience. Click Show Original Audience, use Original Audience. And then here we can select the ages that we want. And that would be it. So if I'm doing broad campaigns, I'm just pretty much going to use the location that I want to advertise to and maybe the age range that I want to advertise to. After that, I'm going to let my creative, the video, the images, the headlines, the copywriting, and then letting people that want to interact with those ads teach Facebook who to distribute this message to. Now then, if you're going to do detailed targeting, we have to be here as well. This is where we'll actually go into much more detail. We're going to select a location, do the age range, but then now we can do stuff like vegan. So people that are interested in veganism, great. People that are interested in strength training, great. And we can go on and on and on and on. We could do something like, we can even click browse and we can have a look up demographic. We can have a look up income, and we could top 5% of income postcode in the United States. That's something we can do. And so we can see these different groups of people we want to include. So target people that match these things. Then we can do things like add exclusions. So who to not target. So if you're targeting vegans, perhaps say, don't target people that are interested in the carnivore diet. I don't know, something like that. You can click at define further. So it's almost like they have to match these things, and then they must also match these things that we add in this list. Okay. Great. That's it. That's how we can do detailed targeting and broad targeting. Again, you should always be testing them. Now then, placements. Where do you want your ads to appear in Meta's ecosystem? This is something that we do choose to test a lot of. You can just leave it like this, which is basically letting Meta display your ad anywhere they can and figure out where it's getting the best results for the least money for you. sounds great, isn't always great. Sometimes is awesome. You have to test. But what we can do is we can edit this and we can also say manual placement. Here is where we can select, do we want it to be on mobile only or desktop or both? Maybe we don't want to advertise to Facebook. We only want to advertise onto Instagram. One of the ones I often am doing at the moment, so this is this is information only really for like right now, which is June of 2024. I don't really like using the audience network. And that's where your ads might appear on web pages just like out there in the world. I don't think I've ever really seen great results from that, but maybe one day there'll be great results coming from that. So it's always something I'm going to test every now and then. So if we go down here now, I can have a look at it. Maybe I want to appear in the Instagram feed. Yeah, that makes sense. But no, I don't want this ad to be appearing in the profile feed. Yeah, let's send it into the Explore. That's fine. Stories, yes. But Reels, no. Like this is how you can just select whereabouts you want your ad to appear. Great. Now we've selected and configured everything we need to at the ad set level. Now we can go into creating the actual ads. And because we're using dynamic creative, we're only going to need to create really one ad. Here we can just go ahead and say, let's just put this one. Great. Here, new leads. What's the ad name here? Yeah, like new leads ads £50. Whatever you might like to call it. Now then, here we need to upload media. So what images or videos do you want to select to show on your ad? Here we can select images. And here we can just click upload and upload our videos. Okay. Or you can select videos and just upload your videos. Go. So then that's how you upload the videos or the images you want to use in your ad. Here's the primary text. So this is the big like blurb of text you see underneath ads. Another thing, test long copies, test short ones, test everything. Do you want to lose weight in the next 3 months? Great. I'm going to add in 2 options of primary text. Go. Do you want to be skinny in 3 months? Great. Happy days. That's it. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Headlines. Get in shape for get in shape for winter. Great. They're 2 different headlines that we have created for this ad. So what I mentioned earlier about dynamic creative, Facebook automatically is going to, you can only ever send in one ad like this, either images or videos. You can't mix them. So you would put in 3 images or 3 videos, and then it's going to test, hey, what happens if I use video 1 with headline 1 and primary text 2? How does that perform? What about video 2? It's just going to test every variation, see what's working best, and spend more money there. The website URL, this would be a good one. www.mywebsite.com. That's where I want the ads to go. I don't want to do any of this. Call to action button now. Do you want it to be learn now, apply now, buy tickets, download if it's a lead magnet? Maybe that's what we want to use. Maybe we want to do subscribe. But what does the button want to look like? And tracking and everything else. At this point, what we do now is we just hit publish. That's it. We launched an ad. Not crazy. Now then, let's talk about how you can create an ad that is to send people to a message with you, okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create another don't do that. Let me close out of this. No, I don't publish drafts yet. So we're going to go into ad sets. I still want this new, like conversion point to be in this same campaign. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click create. I'm still going to be using the same campaign. Messenger ad set. I will say sometimes I like to do it so that I create one campaign where everything is always just sending to websites and another campaign where everything is always sending to messenger chats. Sometimes I mix them. That's a variable that I always test and constantly test because Facebook's always changing things and different things work at different times. Hopefully, and unfortunately, you're getting the hang of it. Like ScaleFit, we test on average 25 different variations per client per week. That's if they're spending a small amount of money, which I'll define as $100 or less. If they're spending $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, we're probably testing 50 to 100 different variables, different creative, different headlines, different per client. We test a lot. And as part of our testing process, I'll give you a little good nugget here. We like to get out to market with as many different ideas for an ad. So I might like to shoot an ad where it's like me walking along the side of the road, just vlogging with the audience in the video. Hey, are you tired of being overweight? You struggling to lose the last 10 pounds after you had your baby? Well, I have the solution for you, right? Now then, I'll shoot 3 different videos where it's kind of just exactly that. And then after I find out, I run an ad as quickly to it as I can to those 3 different versions of me walking down the street saying, hey, do you want to lose your baby weight? With just 3 different like scripts. Once I start running ads to that and I find out which script worked best, then I'll go ahead and see, okay, that script worked best. How can I make that ad look better? Can I improve the lighting? Can I improve the audio quality? And I test different ways of making that ad better. So that's another thing that we also do as well. We try and get something rough out there, see what in general is working, and then improve it rather than spending a lot of time like a director before we shoot the ad, trying to figure out what would be best. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crap at this and I'm not a visionary and I can't think about how to create the perfect ad on my desk. What I can do is I can generate a bunch of ideas, go out there and I test them. And then I have a process to be able to get that ad optimized on Facebook. That's my process. I get as many different ideas out there and then I test to see which one's working and then I make which one's working better. That's my process. Maybe you'll find your own, but in general, I just assume I'm kind of dumb and that the marketplace and Facebook is going to be better at telling me what is good than what I think is good from the comfort of my chair, not doing anything really, right? A lot of people spend a lot of time procrastinating the process of making an ad because they don't want to fuck it up and waste their money. That isn't it. It's just procrastination there. We're just thinking about it a lot. Go out there, get something done, write a script, launch an ad, spend $5 a day on it, and see if it works. Sorry, it was a bit of a tirade. So we're going to have to create a new ad set for this messenger campaign, messenger conversion point. And then this ad is called messenger ad. Great. Yeah, so here's an issue that is flagging with us. It's basically saying, hey, in this campaign, you've got one ad set sending people to a website, and now you've got another ad set sending people to a messenger. Maybe you don't want to do that. The only trouble is that sometimes that's worked best for me. Sometimes it's worked worse for me, and it seems to change all the time. So test. Here we can say messenger. Great. Maximum number of leads. Don't have a conversion goal. What's a good thing? Here's the date time thing. Make sure it's, set up how we said earlier, like first minute of the new day. Here's where we can do our targeting again. Everything like that. It's all great. Now then, let's go into the messenger ad. Here it's going to look pretty similar again. We are going to create an ad. We're going to upload some media to this ad. We're going to do primary text and headline. Send a message. And here is where we're going to create a new message template. Here, I might like to do something as simple as you don't need to do this part. They can just come to you and that's fine. But it could be that you're offering a lead magnet and here you want to say, as part of the welcome message, it could be, hey, first name. Here's what we can do as well. We can click this button here, insert personalization, last name of recipient, Facebook page name, full name, like whatever, right? So we can select that. We can add emojis if you want. Hey, David, how can I help you? Right? So if they click on the ad, they're going to be presented with this. If you're looking to give them a lead magnet, the best way I know how to do that is you can say something like, here is the lead magnet that I wanted. My goodness, my computer is not liking this video recording, hey? Great. Now we could send them to our website to get our lead magnet, right? So that's the way we can both start a chat with them in direct messenger, but then also get them to go to our website and opt in to give us more information. That's another tool that we use. But that's it. You could just click save. Now you've created this message template. Okay. That's it. Click publish. Done. Now we've launched an ad both to a website and to a messenger chat. Let's go back to our presentation. Metrics. I need to talk about metrics. Let me go back into this. Go away. Here is how we're going to talk about metrics. We're going to see all of this information along here. We've got results, reach, impressions, cost per result, amount spent, all of it, right? Here's how I like to typically set up my columns so I can see what data I want to actually see. I don't particularly like that. I like working with this. Don't really care about that. Ends, I don't care. Schedule, I don't care. Budget, I don't care. Bid strategy, I don't care. Last significant ever, don't care. Attribution model, don't care. Great. So then, what I do like is cost per milli. That is how many impressions. So how many dollars did you spend to display your ad to 1,000 different impressions? I also like to use, let me just click-through rate. I like to use click-through rate. That'll be how many people that see the ad click on the ad. I also like, what are the other ones I put in there? Pretty much it, cost per click. Cost per click. So how many dollars did I spend to get someone to click? And there we go. That's, I might put in other ones here, but that, it's kind of the really, really big ones. Another one, frequency. Frequency is on average, how many times has someone seen your ad? Why is that important? Because we might like to have two different types of campaign. One is to be as broad as possible and reach as many new people as possible. And then we might like to have a retargeting campaign where we're sending the ad to people that have already interacted with our ad previously or our website previously. So on the broad campaign, I want to reach as many new people as possible. And then of those people that interacted with the ad and went to my website, then I want to retarget them. And there I want the frequency to be as high as I can. I might like to get that up to a frequency of 4. So they've seen my stuff 4 times. Frankly, if it's more than 4 times, the chances are they don't care about your stuff. So like, you don't need to spend, the chances are if they've seen your ad 4 times and haven't spoken to you, haven't registered for a lead magnet or whatever, chances are they don't want to speak to you. So there's no point spending more money getting frequency up to 11 to 5 or 6. Instead, what I'd do is I'd spend more money on my broad targeting campaign, like my top of funnel campaign, where I want to keep my frequency between 1 and 2. So reach as many new people as I can, frequency between 1 and 2, and then retargeting campaign. Those that have interacted with it, get that frequency up to 4. That's pretty much it. Let me go back into this. So then, metrics, they're the real ones that we really care about. There's all kinds of other metrics. I did mention frequency. It's also important. But they're the ones that are really good. But at the end of the day, that's not really all we really care about when it comes to metrics. Because none of those metrics actually explain about the performance of your campaign and your advertising. Because all it's doing is reporting on how is the ad working. But again, buying ads doesn't give you money. The only metric that really counts is cost per acquisition. Cost per customer acquisition, cost per client acquisition, CAC. How many dollars did you spend before you won a customer? Why is that the real metric that counts? I see some marketers talk about like getting your cost per lead down, right? Oh, I can get you $1 leads. Why do I care about a $1 lead if I have to spend $6,000 to get 6,000 leads before someone actually buys, because my targeting, my messaging, and my website sales funnel are so bad that they're the wrong types of people and I can't convert them. Meanwhile, if I spend $100 per lead, but every other lead buys from me, and so therefore I spend $200 to get 2 leads and one of them buys, how is that not better? So then, we've talked about the ad. How do we get attention? How do we create an ad? How do we target the people we want to target? There's a lot more to go before we can actually make money. And now we need to speak about sales funnels. What's a sales funnel? A sales funnel is a step-by-step process that guides potential customers from first learning about your product or service to buying it. It includes stages like becoming aware of your product, becoming interested in your product, considering a purchase of your product, to deciding to buy your product. And a sales funnel helps them turn and take them through that customer journey. So then, now we can speak and demonstrate what a sales funnel might look like. Let me go into this handy little tool I have here. This is where things are going to get a bit crazy now. This is a tool called Geru, Geru. If anyone out there wants to use it, it's pretty cheap. Go have a look at it. It's a really nice visual way of showing what a sales funnel could look like and how you need to think about designing sales funnels. The one thing I wish it did better was make it easier to scroll around. Anyways, here is how I see most people run their sales funnels. They use paid ads. They send their paid ads to potentially a lead magnet, maybe just straight to a sales call calendar, like book in a call with me. And then they try and speak to the person. In this simple example here, paid traffic goes to a lead magnet page. Hey, give us your email address and your phone number, and I'll send you a guide on how to lose weight. Then from there, some certain percentage of people are going to see that page, not be interested, and bounce. And some of them are going to opt in. An okay percentage of people opting in is 20%. Try and aim for 20%. 20% of people that come to your opt-in page give you their contact information. How do you improve that? Well, it could be that your ads aren't well designed. So your ads are saying like, hey, if you're between 35 and 45 and want to lose weight, and you're a man and you want to lose weight, and then they come to a website that says, hey, if you're 18 to 25 and a woman and want to lose weight, then they're going to go, well, that's not great. And they're going to bounce, right? Or it could be that they come to the landing page and the landing page itself is just ugly as sin. And it's very difficult, etc. You know how you see opt-in pages and there's like, give us your name, give us your email address, give us your phone number, give us this, give us that. Every new thing you ask your customers to give you, you can expect less people to be bothered giving you that information. And say, for example, asking for an email address only is the least intrusive thing you can do. People will easily give you your email address. But then again, email addresses are less valuable than a phone number. Because if it's a phone number, you could call them, more intrusive. So they have to want it more to give you their phone number. But maybe you're prepared to take the hit in conversion rate on that first page because that phone number is valuable to you. Depends on your whole sales funnel. So 20% of people give you their information. Then they go to a sales calendar where they can select a time to speak with you, right? And then from there, they go into a Zoom call with you, right? So they actually speak to you on the telephone. And then of the people that speak to you on the telephone or on the Zoom call, a certain percentage of those actually give you money. A good conversion rate in high ticket is 25%. You're okay with 20%. You're doing good with 30%. 25% is great, right? Now, people often just have a really basic setup like this. They often don't even have retargeting campaign ads. They may or may not have organic traffic sending people to their lead magnet. So this could be just people from your Instagram bio, right? Your Instagram profile. They're just clicking on the lead magnet URL. Or they're running paid ads. And that's all fine, right? But look what happens. You click simulate. We had 460 people through these different campaign sources came to this lead magnet, and 20% of them, 92, moved on to the next stage, the sales calendar. Here, only 4% actually bothered immediately booking a call with you. So of the 92, only 3 actually booked a call with you. Here's actually something wrong. Probably not everyone is going to actually show up to that sales call. In this example, 3 people showed up on the sales call, but you only convert 25% of them, and 25% of 3 is, rounding down, 0. This sales funnel made no money. And this is how most people run their sales funnels. They don't have a process of being able to capture. They're buying all of this attention with paid traffic. They're probably not even running retargeting campaign ads. Maybe they have some of this, but they're doing all this to get this attention, spending all of this money, and then they don't have a good system to convert that into revenue. So, man, they lost money. I mean, they just lost $6,000. That's it. They just spent $6,000 on ads, and that's it. They didn't get one bit of revenue coming through. How do you need to build a sales funnel? Let's go over to this. Now then, what we have here is a different example of a much more fulfilled sales funnel with more steps and more processes to convert that attention into sales calls. We have the exact same setup, the same amount of paid ads, same amount of organic traffic, same amount of retargeting. Here, after they've opted in, they've given us their phone number and their email address, we now have some people that are just going to still go on and automatically book a call with you. But then we've also got, for the people that don't just book a call with you, we're going to send them a series of emails. I actually like to work with like a 7-day challenge where I provide value to them that would be helping them fix their problem, their own. And at the end, I like to say, hey, hope that was great. How about you book a sales call with us if you want more help, right? We're also going to give them some calls. We're going to give them some SMS. We're going to send SMSs to them. In sales, people don't buy. Like the average number across all industries is people won't buy from you until they've seen your stuff between 7 and 12 times. Okay. So just sending an ad once to them and them seeing that ad once is not it. That's not enough. We're going to have to call them. We're going to have to SMS them, send them emails, get them to join a Facebook group, add videos there, help them, and direct them to your social media page where they look at your social media posts to see all the value that you're adding, that you know what you're talking about, that they learn and develop an understanding about you and they like you. All of that stuff is what's called lead nurture. This is lead nurture. We're nurturing this lead to get it onto the sales call with us. And what happens when we do this? Click simulate now. And now look what happens. We made a few sales. Oh, we're happy. Like, that's great. We made 50% profit, like we spent $32,000. And after everything, we were left with $15,000 in our pocket. 50% profit margin on a business isn't exactly bad, especially seeing as all we need to do is just spend more money next month. That's it. And the whole aim of the game is just constantly iterating on making each little point here a little bit better. So if you can find a way to create your sales calendar page so that more people book from 10 to 12%, and maybe on the emails, is going on with Geru. And you converted this so the click-through rate was rather than 5%, it was 6%. Then we simulate. Didn't quite get an additional sale yet. But what happens if we improved this to 25%, which is a good opt-in rate? 25%, if we do that, what happens? Now we're crushing it. What happens if we improve our sales ability on this call? Improved our sales conversion rate from 25 to 30%. What happens then? We get a little bit better at selling. We are absolutely blowing up our profits. It's all the same paid traffic, the same amount of inputs, but just because of the system that we've created, we're getting better at writing emails. We're sending more emails. We're sending more calls. We're doing more messages. They're better at them. Then the money from the same amount of inputs can improve. Okay. So that's how you need to think about creating a sales funnel to increase conversion. And keep in mind that just because someone is in today and doesn't become a sale this week, they might buy from you in 4 months' time. Let's go back to this. So then, now we've gone through sales funnels. That's all there is really to say about sales funnel. And everything is just iteration. How can we improve the sales funnel so we do everything just a little bit better so that we get more money out of the same amount that we spent at the front end? So then the next point is that really comes down to customer acquisition is salesmanship and what to do in a sales call. We're going to cover that in the next video. So thank you very much. I hope that was useful for you. And it was a bit of a long dragged out video. Please let me know what you think. And if this was useful for you, anything else that you might like, let me know and I'll answer any questions I have. Until then, speak to you next time. Cheers guys. Bye.